Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Raise Be Good Show. My name is Jason Lee and I hope you're having an amazing day. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about how you can become a better person, reach your goals faster by being realistic. And I also will be debunking the idea of being realistic. You should guys stick all the way to the end of the episode to learn more about this subject. Alright, here's the thing. I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't do. Okay? That's just a plain, simple fact that I stand by all of my episodes and the advice that I give. This is just purely my opinions and just my experiments and what I've learned over maybe 2 or 3 years of me experimenting and learning online. So if you guys don't believe me and find everything in this episode pretty much completely bullcrap, then you guys don't have to listen to me, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Just want to say that first. The first question that I want to ask you is, how many times have you been told that you were not good enough and you have to be realistic with yourself? Multiple times, right? Like, I've been told this so many times, especially by my friends, teacher, and family. Like, it's a common saying by a lot of people that are not us, right? And over time, the term of being realistic have become a negative connotation of just staying down on the earth and keep your feet grounded. Yes, it means don't think you have $10 million instead of 2. Being realistic actually means that understand your situation and plan for it. But because of the overuse of the phrase being realistic, so many people think that it is because of their situation that they can't do anything. Well, it's just a circumstance that you're supposed to work over. And when people say be realistic, that doesn't mean that you should give up. While a lot of people do use it that way, I want you, when you hear that phrase, I want you to reevaluate yourself and where you are. What the heck you're doing? Is it right? Is it wrong? How can you keep going forward instead of just dwelling in one place thinking that I'm never going to get a job just because you suck at one thing, right? There's no work to be found within those certain areas. And of course, like, this happens a lot, but that doesn't make it right. And being realistic, again, means that you acknowledge your position or circumstance. Do you think that LeBron James could have gone to where he is without acknowledging the fact that he only barely knows about basketball when he just entered the league? No, he absolutely knew that he didn't know about anything. So he has to study the game. He had to practice and repeat. He had to look at himself and see, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? What's the areas that I need to improve on? That's the mistake that a lot of people are making when they are looking at themselves. Your circumstance and your situation shouldn't be an excuse for you to be, I don't know, not doing anything at home and just dwelling on your own personal circumstance. It is not what being realistic actually mean, guys. Being actually realistic is that you don't just go cuckoo on your head and just say, oh my goodness, I have $10 million when you only have $1 in your pocket. Being realistic means that you want $10 million while you only have $1 in your pocket, and you're going to work your way up to that $10 million. You see what I'm doing? Well, the best analogy that I got for you is that when you're on a road, if you don't know where you're going, you're just going to end up getting lost. That's what happens to me a lot when I go walks at night. But that is not the reason we're here. When you're on a road, you have to know where you are. If you don't know where you are, you can't get to wherever you want to get to. So understand your position is so important, that's what being realistic actually means. But the other factor that I think people are more scared about is actually how long it's going to take them to get to the goal itself. Now, I understand the freaking time that it takes for a certain process can be super scary. Like to be a CEO, like to be successful, like to be ripped, to be jacked. It seems like some of the goals that you have might sound obscure because it takes so damn long to obtain by other people, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. I honestly believe that if you actually believe in something, you should actually work to get to that position, or get to that job, to get to that money goal as soon as possible by studying, by looking at yourself and figuring out, okay, this is the most efficient way to go, right? It's like when I'm looking on a map to go somewhere. I'm just saying, okay, this is the fastest route. You take that route, even though it's long. Yes, it's gonna be long, but it's better than you just sitting there hopelessly thinking or wishing $10 million is gonna fly from the sky down or something like that. It's better to actually take that long road from now. You start now than to later realize that you have to do it before it gets too late and you run out of time on this earth. The other thing is, we can't make it personal. We can't make where we are personal. Yes, it might have been our fault that we didn't get the education or we didn't put in the amount of effort for education. Let's say you didn't put enough work into school, so therefore you have to go to community college. That does not mean that you cannot become a doctor. Just because that you have in a circumstance of your fault does not dictate your future. I think that scares a lot of people off on their road. It's because they see the road is long and windy and they don't know if they're going to be able to make it with enough gas. Just take that, because the better or the faster you go, right? The sooner you go, the faster you're going to get there, and the sooner you're going to realize, oh my goodness, this road could have just taken me so much faster there. So you try going this road, you try going the other road, you try going straight, you take a left, you take a right. It's just like that. It's just like driving. You have to go to know where to go. It's not that hard. And don't make it about yourself. Don't attach your self-worth to your position. That's the biggest mistake that I see a lot of people done, including myself. I used to attach myself to grades a lot, right? And whenever I get a bad grade, I used to be feeling completely helpless. When I literally ripped the two apart, I felt so much better, but I also knew that, okay, this is just a checkpoint and I can actually reach for a better grade in the future. And that exactly. And I cannot stress that enough. And let's take another example. Let's say you want to lose weight. Let's say you want to lose 100 pounds. That is insane. I have so much respect for people who are actually even attempting this challenge. And let's say you want to lose 100 pounds and you're 500 pounds. I'm not saying that you're less beautiful or less worth it or anything, but I'm just using this as an example because apparently it is a very common problem that I've seen throughout Reddit. Now, here's the thing. I don't know a huge amount about fitness like other coaches do, but I do know that you have to put in the work and you have to weigh yourself to know what your weight is so that you can have a goal weight, right? Without weighing yourself. This whole weighing yourself is being realistic, understanding your position, and actually make a plan and plan it forward. And again, being realistic isn't just some big heavy hitter that should drag you down. It should be a tool that's supposed to help you, pushes you, like it's supposed to just like push you a little bit further towards your goal. And that's it. Don't make it personal. Please don't ever attach your position to your own self-worth, because that everyone is different. Nobody's worse than anyone else. Just because you think you're in a worse position doesn't mean that you're less of a human. So therefore, take the attachment away, because in the future you're going to fail again and again and again. You're going to keep going on the wrong road again and again and again until you find the right one, and you're just going to poof, and there you are. All right, now pre-COVID, I actually was in an NJROTC team called Navy League. And this team is basically 50 different cadets. We're dedicated to train ourselves to compete for the best spot in the whole nation. Even though we didn't get to go to nationals, we actually won our state championship. And it was our first time winning state champs. And I actually feel pretty proud about it to beat that team. But before we ever even competed, before we ever even started training, I knew that I wanted to be on the team. I knew that I wanted to become one part of the team, so therefore I put in all the work. I didn't even know that I was going to make it or not. It took such a long time before I actually made it on the team. Here's how it happened. First of all, I literally came back a week late because I was in Vietnam, right? I was jet lagged and I understood that I had to put so much more work. So therefore I did more push-ups and I was doing more drill. Those are the two key things that was able to bring me into the team. Now, push-ups. I had to do a lot of push-ups at home. Even though all the other people did, I still had to put in the work, right? I wasn't averaging good enough for the team. So therefore, I had to keep practicing. And now look, I kept practice for months on end into the first competition. And guess what? I wasn't even in the competition. I was just a sub. Like, I was just on the bench. I was kicked out on the bench, and at the end of the competition, we won the competition. But at that moment, I knew that I had to get on the team, but I didn't even know that if I was even going to make on it. But I didn't care. I stuck to the process. And every single day, I was getting a reality check. I didn't do it to myself, but my instructors and my team commanders were all keeping me on check of my reality. They're telling me every single mistake that I made. They're telling me every single form that I break. They're telling me the actual score, and that kept my reality in check of telling me, okay, Jason, you have to do this, and do that. I had a plan for all of those time. I was go home and I always do push-ups. I always do 200 a day. I would stay back maybe an extra hour or two just to practice for drill. All of those things amount to me finally getting subbed in. I was actually subbed in because somebody else was busy that day. And I completely tried my best that day, and I actually got into the team. And I feel so great, so amazing that I'm on the team. And even though I'm not the best, absolutely put in the amount of work. Not a lot of people actually expected me to be on the team at all to begin with, because at the beginning of the school year, I didn't seem like I had any potential. Even my parents thought that I was putting too much work because I kept staying during practice when everyone else was in the team and I was on the side just practicing. So you guys can see that, putting in the work is hard. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's very, very simple. If you get putting in the work and being realistic just gives you that edge over the other people, because it helps you become a better person. It helps you create a plan and it helps you keep moving forward. Don't matter if you're on the right road or the wrong road. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys got something valuable from it. If you guys want to suggest more podcast ideas, more episode ideas, make sure you guys comment either in the YouTube comment section down below, or you guys can just DM on the Race to Be Good official Instagram, and I greatly appreciate you. And until the next episode, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.